Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we are unpacking the realities of self-employment for mothers, a group often called Mompreneurs. We're going to be blending hard national data with some highly relatable, in-the-trenches survival tactics from a mother of three who actually took the leap. So, if you've ever wondered how on earth to balance the intense demands of building a business with the beautiful chaos of family life, well, you are in exactly the right place.
Okay, let's quickly run through our roadmap for today. We'll start with mothers and self-employment, then break down the difference between a startup and an Existenzgründung. After that, we'll look at Antonia's journey balancing business and kids, share some crucial organizational hacks for everyday life, dive into the bullet journal system, and finally, we'll wrap up with your voices and fears. Let's get right into it.
All right, Section 1, Mothers and Self-Employment.
To give you a sense of the scale we're talking about here, by the end of 2023, there were roughly 3.9 million self-employed individuals in Germany. 3.9 million. That is a massive ecosystem of people striking out on their own, and it really sets the baseline for our whole discussion today.
But here's where things get super interesting. If we look at the KfW Gründungsmonitor data, it shows that only 37% of these new businesses are actually founded by women. The vast majority, 63%, are still male founders. So you kind of have to ask, why is that gap so wide? And what exactly happens when mothers specifically try to enter this space?
Moving right along to Section 2, Startup versus Existenzgründung.
To really understand this landscape, we have to define what we're actually talking about, because the terminology matters. When we say startup, we mean innovative, highly scalable, investor-backed ventures. Think of a fast-growing tech company building a new app. On the flip side, the German concept of Existenzgründung refers to a more traditional, local-scale business. This is your neighborhood hair salon or a freelance design business, typically funded by a local bank loan or personal savings.
And that distinction matters immensely when you look at the data. In the startup world, the female founder rate plummets to just 20.7%. When we zoom in on regular, traditional foundings by mothers specifically, those mompreneurs, they made up only about 16% of foundings back in 2016. But here is absolutely the most striking part, the double burden of care work. Mothers in startups literally lose about 6 hours of work time per week compared to their peers. I mean, that's nearly a full workday, just gone. It is an incredible, exhausting balancing act.
Let's ground this in reality. Section 3, Antonia's journey. Business and kids. Taking the leap into self-employment doesn't have to be this reckless, overnight, burn-the-ships kind of jump. Take Antonia, for example. She's a strategic communications expert with 3 kids under 10, and her path was a gradual, highly calculated process. She spent over 15 years in corporate consulting. Then, during her 3rd maternity leave, she safely tested the waters of self-employment. She actually returned to the corporate world for 2 more years before making the final jump to full independence in 2022. It's a fantastic reminder that you can totally transition at your own pace.
So how does she actually manage 3 young kids and a strategic consulting business? Honestly, through radical transparency. She openly admits it takes a village. She leans heavily on a trusted nanny, her mother who lives nearby, and just constant family communication to survive the daily chaos. They literally sit down and check in every 6 months to see if their current system is still working for the kids and the parents. It's totally dynamic, not rigid at all.
Okay, let's talk tactics. Section 4, Organizational Hacks for Everyday Life.
Before you go and quit your day job, you need a solid strategy. Antonia's advice really boils down to 3 things. First, speak to peers who have already done it. Ask them what they wish they had known. Second, calculate the hidden costs. She specifically mentions the brutal, sobering reality of seeing your health insurance and tax costs for the first time. You've got to face those numbers early before they make you want to hide under the covers. And third, test the waters with a small side project to see if it actually gives you energy rather than just draining it.
Now, when it comes to the daily grind, mundane tasks become your critical survival tactics. We're talking about a paper family plan on the fridge so everyone knows the schedule, a dedicated Sunday prep hour to look ahead at the week, waking up before the kids just to get mentally centered, and yes, laying out lunchboxes and clothes the night before. Antonia has this really powerful rule: don't let the kids lose against your calendar. Prepping these little things the night before ensures you aren't starting your morning in a panicked rush, which totally preserves your sanity and your energy for your business.
Which brings us to Section 5, the bullet journal system. If you need a tool to handle the mental load, the source material highly recommends the bullet journal. Created by writer Carol, it's essentially an analog system housed in a completely blank notebook, designed to track the past, organize the present, and plan the future. Because we are constantly blasted with digital noise, apps, notifications, endless emails, this analog method forces you to just slow down. By writing things out by hand, you filter out distractions and figure out what truly deserves your energy. Plus, it's highly adaptable, allowing you to track your business tasks, personal gratitude, and family priorities all in one single place.
Finally, let's zoom back out for Section 6, Your Voices and Fears.
One community member shared a very real, very raw thought with us. They said, "I have too many worries, tax inexperience and questions. It's too insecure with 2 kids." And honestly, this perfectly validates the systemic fear out there, the desire for perfect execution, the sheer fear of financial instability, and the heavy pressure of being responsible for dependents keeps so many incredibly talented women from starting. That mental hurdle of wanting everything figured out 100% before launching is absolutely massive.
But then on the exact opposite side of that spectrum, we get this profound piece of feedback. We've been self-employed since 2017. We could watch our 6-year-old grow up. This right here highlights the massive reward of time sovereignty. Self-employment, while undeniably challenging, can offer the ultimate flexibility. It lets you design your days so you don't miss the school plays or those quiet morning breakfasts. You aren't just fitting your kids into the margins of an employer's schedule. You are literally building your work around your life.
Which brings us to our final thought. Does the fear of the unknown hold you back, or does the ultimate freedom of self-employment call your name just a little bit louder? Take a moment today to really reflect on that. What is one small, calculated step you could take tomorrow to start designing the work-life balance you actually want? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Start planning that next step, and I will see you next time.